about. I'm specifically mentioning a problem within our community, that creators are starting to use AI to animate their drawings by feeding their art to AI, since it's faster and easier than manual animation.
Am I about to become controversial? Oh! Okay, so it's literally like 2 minutes ago from the time I'm recording this. I saw Poachtrix's video about a person feeding in their drawing to an AI to animate it faster. How do I say this? I don't care. That's fine. But is it really that hard of a take to say, if you draw it or you make that character and you want to feed into an AI so that way it can move, is that really an issue? I don't think so, because guess what? Rosie Closey uses Moho, which guess what? Yes, it's still a little bit harder than an AI, because instead of writing it, you still have to move it around a little bit. However, you kind of move your arm, click it, move it here, and click there, and then, like, I'm gonna have to cut this for an example, but just to show you. Alright, no, I don't have to click it. Because, like, you go from here to here, and you click it, and let's say you want it to ball up into a fist. You can click that too, balls into a fist while you're doing it, and then that's basically what Moho does. So, or can do. You can do frame by frame. However, if Moho will allow something like that, where basically it's just a few clicks and you have to move it anyways, that's not too much harder than having to write it into a prompt on an art that you've made, and boom, it moves around for you. Now, with that being said, I have not learned Moho fully. There's still a lot of stuff, and I do not intend on using AI myself. However, once I learn Moho, I'm gonna love. I can't wait to start doing animations. However, once I show AI. Once the AI, let's say an AI. Okay. However, from what I've looked up and how tutorials have shown me, it's only been a few clicks to like move it once you figure out everything else on how to do all that. It is really easy. And that's what Rosie Closey uses. That's what I intend on using. We don't need to make animation harder in the name of creativity. You can make arguments for artwork. You can make arguments for your own piece of media to be put into AI. You keep in mind, this entire video is just my opinion. I think, in my opinion, who cares if an animation off of someone's drawing that they drew is AI generated animation wise, and not like the actual art itself is still theirs? Who cares? I don't. Literally, if someone put my face into an AI and then I started moving around like, this crazily because someone put me into a prompt and to do that, let's say, then I don't care. It's my face, my work. Well, my face is myself. And if I gave them permission to do it, then I don't care either. But not just me personally. Let's say you do care. Yes, then they should not put you into an AI. If you want to do that, it's your choice. However, it's their choice to use their artwork and speed up the process of AI. I don't think they need to apologize. They did. And Poachtrix said, hopefully they don't repeat the same mistake again. I don't see it as a mistake. I think, give it a few months, everyone's going to be more lukewarm on the subject of generative AI as long as you've made the artwork yourself. I think that's a valid take. I think that's a valid place to put my opinion. And you can hate me. You can say, oh, that's terrible because yada yada yada. Yeah. Maybe it is. Maybe it is a bad take. Maybe I have like the worst take in the world. Maybe I'm Mr. Bad Take Matikason or something. I don't know. But Is it really that bad if you've made the artwork yourself? If you've made the character yourself? Like, Filmora, the editing software I use, has an AI feature. It's terrible. The generation's terrible. But let's say I use my own OC. Okay? We're gonna use my gotcha character in a generic white background because no one really claims the color white, and this is really for a time purposes thing. I'm about to play right now of that AI character moving, of him moving right now. I don't care. Quite frankly, it's not an issue. I don't think you should have to apologize if it's your art, if it's your creation, and you put it into an AI. Quite frankly, I don't care. For that matter, if you want to start arguing for all that AI for AI being bad in creative spaces, and to the extent you are, Pochi, you use an AI voice for your speech, which I don't care. That's fine. But Pochi, you use an AI voice in creative spaces because you don't want to reveal your actual voice. You know, shoot, none of you show your faces, and does that take away stuff from commentary? Because it doesn't show your expressions fully. Shoot, I use a PNG model every time my camera's not up here. Does that take away from commentary creativity? You see, there are levels to these things that you have to realize, and quite frankly, I don't know if you are using that noggin of yours for this, but I don't care, which is why I can do what I'm doing without seeming like a hypocrite with my argument, because I just don't care. And I'm on the side of the argument where I am not a hypocrite. I think hypocrisy is bad. But if you really want to go down that path, Pochi, we can go down that path, and I think yes, you should be transparent if it's AI with your artwork still. Just like put in the description or something, like, yes, that is a valid thing to do. But if you have gotten to the point where you're saying trigger warnings all you need for gotcha heats, like you guys have been, I'm still not at that point yet. I still think it really depends. It's a 13 plus site, so therefore everything should be 13 plus until it gets 18. I'm a TOS follower, not a whatever this is. I don't know. I don't know. Again, my opinions are very different from yours, which is fine. Again, like I said, I have said this many times. I don't agree with Pochi's takes. This is one of my biggest things I have disagreed with him on for the longest time. I respect him as a ranter, as a commentator. But when it comes to takes, I have totally different takes and I have totally different opinions, and this is something I have to be more. I feel like I have to be more vocal about, and the opposition to his take on this, because he is so firm in the take that I am more like I don't care. And if you just don't care either, and you want to make your artwork and use AI, just put in the description that you used AI to animate your artwork, and I see no issue with it. Quite honestly, I honestly think it would be gasping for straws if you do care about someone using their own artwork for an AI animation. Anyways, with that being said, I'm outie.